Hi, welcome back. Well, today we're going to talk about real dreams, right? Not, in an expression like in your dreams. Okay, in your dreams라고 하면은 when something is really impossible, not attainable, you can say in your dreams or you wish 이렇게 얘기하면 되겠죠? But today we're going to talk about real dreams. 진짜 꿈들. 예, 진짜 실제로 우리가 꾸는 꿈들. You dream a sweet dream? Dream a little dream of me? 네, dream a dream. 꿈을 꾸다 라고 얘기할 때 dream a dream. Dream a dream. Okay? It's kind of a pattern that is used to describe what kind of dream you had. Okay? You might have some kind of nightmare or, very spooky kind of dream. Or, you might have a very, enjoyable and, entertaining kind of dream, right? What kind of dream have you had recently? 최근에 어떤 꿈을 여러분 꾸셨나요? Well, have you ever thought about why we dream? 우리가 왜 꿈을 꾸는지에 대해서 생각해 보신 적 있으세요? Well, some psychologists think that we dream because we need to make our brain cells work, right? But some other psychologists, they think that, it's because we have to deal with immediate concerns of ours, right? And that is the main reason why we have these dreams. Well, whether we dream in order to, make our brain cells work or deal with immediate concerns of ours, well, there are ways that we can interpret dreams, right? So, people consider dreams as being kind of supernatural, so there are ways to interpret those dreams. Well, do you believe in those interpretations? Well, some people do and some people don't. And especially in Korea, we value those dreams with pigs in it, right? So if someone says, I dreamt the pig dream today. And then, have you ever heard someone say like, can I buy your dream? Let me buy your dream. 내가 꿈을 살게. 그래서 돼지 꿈꾼 사람한테 돈 주고요. And then they can go to this lottery shop to buy some lotteries. Right? Because, usually, culturally, we consider dreams with pigs in it. 그 안에 돼지가 나오는 꿈은 굉장히 좋은 꿈이다. 그 다음에 dogs, it's quite opposite, right? So, quite opposite interpretation applies to dog dreams. 개가 나오는 꿈은 개꿈이다. Something that is not, really happening in reality. So, 좋았다가 개가 나오면은 그거는 좀 아니다라고 생각도 하잖아요. 네, 좋습니다. So, 오늘은 꿈에 대해서 얘기할 텐데요. 자, 우리 96페이지 책을 보세요. Open your book page 96. 자, 96를 보면 그림이 있고요. 그 그림이요. 약간 좀 4차원적인 그림인 것 같아요. 그 실질적인 어떤 리얼리티가 떨어지는 그런 그림인데요. 마치 우리가 몽환적인 어떤 그 꿈속에서와 같은 어떤 그런 그림의 이미지를 보여주고 있습니다. Okay, and we need to find out what each dreams are all about. 이 각각의 이제 dream이 무엇에 대한 dream인지 일단 알아야 되고요. 거기에 대한 interpretation 한번 들어보도록 할게요. Okay, so why don't we go to number one? Number one으로 한번 가보도록 하겠습니다. Okay, number one, fall guy. Many times as I'm going to sleep, I dream that I'm walking along the road. Walking along the road. 어딘가 막 가고 있는 거예요. So, 꿈을 꿀 때 I'm walking along the road. 어떤 그 길을 따라서 이렇게 걸어가고 있는데 and suddenly trip up and fall 하면은 걸려서 넘어지는 거죠. So, trip here does not mean traveling. 여행이 아니라 trip and fall 하면은 걸려 넘어지다. Right? So, trip up and fall towards the pavement. Okay, pavement. 그 포장이 된 도로가 되겠죠. I always wake up before I hit the ground. Why do I dream this? 왜 제가 이런 꿈을 꾸죠? Why? Please tell me. And, if you dream a strange dream like this, you want to know the meaning of it. 그것의 의미가 무엇일까? 그거는 그냥 it was just a dog dream in Korean. 한국말로. There's no special meaning in there. You're just tired. that means you are kind of, working yourself too hard. 뭐 이렇게 뭐 일을 너무 많이 했다는 뜻이야. 너 너무 피곤했다는 뜻이야. 이렇게 실질적으로 얘기하는 것보다는 there's something in your subconscious world. 그 우리가 잠재의식 속에 뭐가 있다던가 뭐 이런 것들을 interpret 해주는 사람이 있어요. Right? 길을 걷다가 walk along the street and you trip up and fall. What does that mean? And you wake up before you actually hit the ground. 땅에 이렇게 닿기 전에 일어나게 되는 거. What does that mean? 궁금하지 않으세요? 저 되게 궁금한데.
제가 해몽을 해드리죠. This dream highlights a loss of self-control. It may represent your insecurity, a lack of self-confidence, a fear of failure, or an inability to cope with a situation. There could also be a literal interpretation. You may have noticed something unsafe, a loose stairwell, wobbly ladder, or insecure window. Check it out. The dream may be a warning.
Well, you dream this kind of dream, falling, tripping and, falling on the road and, you just wake up before you hit the ground. This kind of dream can be dreamed in a situation where you lose your self-control, okay? So, this was a main interpretation. If you lose self-control, you can dream this kind of dream. And, if there is kind of a situation where the situation cannot be handled efficiently and it's out of your control and you are in lack of self-confidence, 뭔가 자신감이 없다거나 자기 그 자신을 컨트롤하지 못하는 그런 상황, 자기도 어쩔 수 없는 상황, 뭐 이런 상황에 직면하게 되면 이런 꿈을 꾼다라고 인터프레트를 했죠. 오케이. 네, 좋습니다. 자, 그러면은 두 번째 상황은 어떤 상황인가요? 자, 두 번째 한번 읽어보도록 하죠. That's on your page 96. Underneath it all. My dreams are often set in a small decaying cellar. Cellar is kind of a 창고, right? So 와인들을 갖다 놓는 창고는 wine cellar라고 얘기를 하죠. 근데 아주 decaying 하면은 정말 허름하고 다 무너져가는, 썩어가는 decaying cellar에서 일어난대요. 항상 배경이 그러니까 something dark. And well, decaying cellar does not give a good impression. 이미지가 좋지가 않잖아요. 그죠? I always wake up feeling bad about life when this happens. So you feel like, why am I living? 뭐 이런 그 인생의 근본 문제. 내 삶은 별로야. 뭐 별로 살 이유가 없을 것 같아. Something like that. 뭐 그렇게 생각하면서 깰 수 있을 것 같네요. So I always wake up feeling bad about life when this happens. What does this dream mean? 무슨 뜻일까요? Okay, what does this dream mean? Okay, 우리 그 해몽사 Jane을 불러서 한번 얘기를 들어보도록 하겠습니다. Jane, tell me, tell me, tell me. Okay, I will tell you what this dream means. Hi, I'm Jane, and let me interpret your dream. Buildings and houses are symbols of yourself. The upstairs represents your conscious mind, and the lower floors and cellar, your hidden self. The cramped feeling of the cellar indicates frustration and a need to expand your activities or thinking. Decayed or crumbling buildings indicate that your self-image has suffered. Treat yourself to a few activities that make you feel good about yourself. Well, in your dream, if you see some buildings, upstairs, 그러니까 위층에 있는 그런 빌딩을 보게 되면 it's your conscious minds, 그 의식하는 그런 부분이고요. Underground, lower floors, that actually symbolizes, 그렇죠, self-conscious, unconscious. 그러니까 잠재의식이나 무의식 이런 것들을 그 represent 한다고 합니다. 그런데 여기서 무의식 속에 in your unconscious mind or subconscious mind, Well, the cellar was very dark. 그죠? It had like a dark image. It was a decaying cellar. And according to the interpreter Jane, Jane interpreter에 의하면 어떻게 그 꿈을 해몽하셨냐면, well, that symbolizes frustration. 좌절했다고요. 여러분 좌절한 여러분의 그 이미지가 별로 자기 스스로가 그렇게 마음에 들어하지 않는 거예요. So if you dream this kind of dream, 뭔가 그 낮은 층, 지층에 뭔가 이렇게 쾌쾌한 어떤 그런 dream을 꾸신다면, well, you need to do some kind of activities to change the image about yourself. Okay? So 자기 자신이 자기 자신에게 가지고 있는 이미지, 그 다음에 어떤 confidence 이런 것들 좀 바꾸기 위해서 다른 액티비티, 자신감을 기를 수 있는 그런 액티비티를 하라고 recommend를 해주고 있네요. 오케이, 좋습니다. 자, why don't we go to number 3 then? 자, 세 번째 꿈은 어떤 꿈일까요? 자, 같이 한번 들어볼까요? Hidden treasure. 뭐가 이렇게 그 숨겨진 보물을 발견하는 거. 이거 좋은 것 같지 않아요? I think it's probably a good dream. I'm digging in the garden of my childhood home and uncovered a box of treasure. Okay? So, uncover, unearth, 파내는 거죠, digging. 그래서 이제 찾아내는 거, discover a box of treasure. My life has been pretty bad lately. Does my dream indicate a change for the better? Okay, so this person is wondering, I uncovered this treasure from my childhood home. 네, childhood home. 어렸을 때 그 살았던 그 집으로 다시 돌아가서 거기서 열심히 뭔가를 팠는데 그래서 treasure이 나온 거예요. So, is it something good? Oh, well, my life has been kind of, bad so far. I've been suffering a lot so far. So, does that mean there will be some kind of luck that happens to me? 궁금하겠죠, right? So, 이런 희망을 가지고서는 아마 인터프리터를 찾아가서 What does this dream mean? 이렇게 물어보게 될 거예요, right? 자, 우리 인터프리터 Paul을 한번 불러보도록 하겠습니다. Paul, please tell us, what does this dream mean? Okay, that was your dream. By the way, I am Paul, and let me start interpreting your dream. Well, this dream symbolizes rediscovering a part of yourself. There may be something that you have neglected or repressed. It could be that you had an ambition in life and only now have found the opportunity to try again. The dream may also have literal interpretation. If you're worried about finances, now may be the time to start a new venture. Rediscovering oneself. Well, there are some kind of treasure in us, hidden inside, and ambitions that you never pay attention to. And maybe you rediscover that in yourself. You need to find out the opportunity to make use of those ambitions or, those aspects, some, treasure. It's kind of a treasure, right? So those aspects of yourself, right? So, well, you rediscovered yourself, and just as you uncovered the treasure in your dream, you rediscovered yourself, some, new aspect of yourself. Or literally, you need some money. 돈이 좀 필요하고, you are in financial situation, it's financial trouble, right? 그래가지고 뭔가 새로운 벤처를 하게 되면 돈을 벌게 된다. Well, it's always tricky, right? 항상 꿈의 인터프리테이션 그런 것 같아요. 이거 or 이거. 그러면 다 걸리는 거죠, right? So anyway, 꿈에 대한 해몽을 같이 들어봤어요. Hidden treasure. I believe in that. I think even though we do not dream about it, we all have this hidden treasure in ourselves. So we need to find out those opportunities in our lives to uncover them, uncover those treasures in ourselves. Okay? 자, 좋습니다. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to listen to some strange dreams. 이상한 꿈을 꿨다는 그런 사람의 이야기를 한번 들어볼 텐데요. 바로 그 number 4, 11.7에 해당되는 Paul의 이야기입니다. Paul dreamed a very, very strange dream. And what kind of dream did he dream? Well, 궁금하시죠? And why don't we listen to Paul's story? 자, 세그먼트 3개로 나눠서 한번 들어보도록 할게요.
Well, my story, I guess it's in the supernatural category, which is strange for me, because I am a very down-to-earth person. I am basically pretty skeptical when people tell weird and wonderful stories. But there is just one time when something very weird and inexplicable happened to me. It was when I was in college, a long time ago, and I had a girlfriend, and the first time I stayed at her house, I had this incredibly vivid dream. You know, sometimes when you wake up and you're not sure what's more real, the dream or what's around you? It was like that. Nothing very momentous happened in the dream, but in the main part of it, I was walking along a street in my hometown, and I bumped into my girlfriend unexpectedly, and we stood in the street and we kissed, and everyone was looking, and it was just a really strange atmosphere, right?
Wow, that was a strange dream. I think he must have been very embarrassed in his dream. Well, how many people were in this dream? Well, at least more than 4, I guess, because Paul himself was in the dream and his girlfriend was there, and he said that there were people around him. So in order to say the word people is plural, so there should be at least 2 people, right? So, well, I think 4 or more people were in this dream. And what was this dream all about? Well, basically, Paul was walking along a street. 길을 이제 따라서 걷고 있는데요. He bumped into his girlfriend. What does bumped into mean? 우연히 만나게 된 거죠. 왜 unexpectedly. 의도치 않게 만나게 된 거예요. 그 배경은 어디입니까? 배경은 it was back in his college days. So, it was when I was in college. 대학교 때로 다시 돌아가가지고요. A long time ago. And I had a girlfriend. 여자친구가 있었는데, the first time I stayed at her house, I had this incredibly vivid dream. 아, 그렇군요. 꿈에서의 그 상황이 아니라 he dreamt this strange dream when he was in college. 대학교 때 이 꿈을 꿨었던 거고요. Well, he visited his girlfriend house. girlfriend의 집에 그 방문을 했었는데 거기서 이제 이런 꿈을 꾸게 된 거죠. Okay? And it was incredibly vivid. What does vivid mean? It's as if it's real. 진짜인 것 같은 거예요. 그래서 아주 생생한. So, you know, some dreams you just dream and forget. But in this kind of dream, you just remember every scene from it. The word that people said. And you remember every detail of it. In your vivid dream. 아주 선명한 그런 꿈에서는 모든 디테일도 다 기억할 수가 있겠죠. So, you know, sometimes you wake up and you're not sure what's more real. 이게 내가 지금 여기 여자친구에 와 있는 게 진짠가 아니면은 꿈이 진짠가? You're kind of confused because the dream was like real. 진짜 vivid했기 때문에 꿈인가 생신가 이게 헷갈리는 거예요. Okay. And it was like that. Nothing very momentous happened in a dream. 뭐 꿈에서 뭔가 중요한 사건이 발생했다거나 momentace한 일이 일어나진 않았지만 but in the main part of it, I was walking along the street in my hometown. So, okay, the background, the dream was set. dream의 배경이 된 것은 어디였습니까? His hometown. 그 고향으로 해서 he was kind of walking. He was walking along a street in his hometown, and he bumped into his girlfriend there, and you know, unexpectedly bumped into를 한 거죠. 그리고서는 그 다음에 they stood there on the street and they started to kiss. Isn't that really weird? And people around them watching them. 그 사람들이 그 주변에 둘러싸여가지고 they were kind of looking. Everyone was looking. 모두 다 쳐다보고 있었어요. So it was very strange. 굉장히 strange atmosphere. Which is atmosphere means surroundings. 거기 그 배경이 너무 분위기가 너무 이상했었어요. 그죠? So, it was kind of a dream. 자, 그 main content was a dream. Main content of the dream was like this. 그러니까 그 꿈의 주요한 내용은 이랬습니다. 자, 이런 꿈을 언제 꿨다고요? back in college years. And 그 배경이 되는 곳은 어디였어요? 꿈의 배경은 his hometown, right? And then the content was walking along the street. He bumped into his girlfriend and they started to kiss and people were watching. Okay? 자, 이런 내용이 되겠습니다. Okay? And why don't we listen to the second part of this story? Okay?
And I was just lying there in bed, and I was just thinking how incredibly vivid this dream was. I could just remember every detail of the scene. And then my girlfriend came in with a cup of tea for me. And she walked in the door and said, "Wow, I had this really strange dream last night." I just knew what she was going to say. It felt like that. And she went on to describe the dream she'd had, and it was exactly the same as the dream I'd had. And then she looked at me and she said, "What's wrong?" Because I must have looked very, very shocked. And I asked her to describe the street where we were. And she described the shop that we were standing in front of, and she said it was a stationery store. She remembered that, selling pens and paper and stuff like that, which is exactly right. And I was feeling pretty cold and shivery by this time.
Wow, this is really cold and shivery. 지금 펄이 느낀 것처럼 진짜 아주 춥고 shivery, 떨리는 이게 무슨 뜻이냐면요. 섬뜩하다는 얘기죠. spooky. Okay, so why is it spooky? Because his girlfriend, who had never been to his hometown, knew every detail of the shop and the street and, stuff like that, right? Of his hometown. Why? Because she dreamed the same dream with Paul. And 펄의 고향이 거기서 나왔잖아요. 그리고 꿈속에서 나왔던 그 디테일한 부분을, 그 고향의 모습을 she started to describe it. And he was kind of amazed to hear that. He was shocked. And the girlfriend said, "What's wrong? I'm just, telling you my dream. 내가 꿈 얘기하는데 왜 이렇게 놀라?" Because it was exactly the same dream that Paul had. 그러니까 펄이 꿨었던 그 꿈이랑 너무 똑같기 때문에 놀라게 된 거죠. Okay. 자, so he was just lying there. 거기에 이제 그 누워서, 그래서 꿈을 꾸고서는 이제 누워 있었는데, it was so vivid. Vivid이라는 거 생각나시죠? 너무 clear, 너무 분명한 그런 꿈이었어요. I was just thinking how incredibly vivid this dream was. 이 꿈이 굉장히 vivid하다라는 거 생각하고 있었는데 girlfriend came in with a cup of tea. 차를 가지고서 왔어요. And then she said, wow, I had a really strange dream. I have this really strange dream. 굉장히 이상한 꿈을 꿨어. And at the moment, he felt that she would say this. 이거 얘기할 것 같다라는 거 느낌이 딱 드는 거예요. 자, 근데 아니나 다를까? She talked about her dream and it was exactly the same dream that he'd had. 펄이 꾼 꿈이랑 너무 똑같은 거죠. Spooky. 자, 그래서 더 맞춰봤어요. He was amazed and the girlfriend said, "What's wrong?" 뭐가 잘못된 거야? 이렇게 얘기했는데 맞춰봤는데요. She exactly described in detail the streets that they were walking 걷던 그 길을 잘 그 묘사를 할 수 있었고요. 거기다가 the shop that they were standing in front of 그들이 서 있었던 가게. It was a stationery store, right? Stationery store. They were selling papers and pens. 그런 문구점이었어요. 그 문구점을 잘 그 묘사를 할 수 있었고요. 근데 그 당시 상황을요. 너무 생생하게 잘 똑같이 묘사를 하니까 놀랍잖아요. It's not like she'd been to that hometown of his, right? And then, even so, how could two people have the same dream, right? 예, 그래서 동상이몽이 아니라 여기서는 뭐라고 얘기해야 되죠? 같은 그 자리에서 똑같은 꿈을 꾼 거죠. 그죠? 그래서 동상동몽이라고 해야 될까요? Okay? Anyway, so 같은 그 girlfriend's house에서 even though they were in a separate rooms whatsoever, we don't know for sure, but they dreamt the same dream. 그래서 it was so spooky 하면은 cold and shivering. 너무너무 뭡니까 소름이 끼칠 정도였다라는 그런 뜻이겠죠? 자, 마지막 파트 한번 들어볼까요?
Well, the really spooky part is that I knew it was the town that I had grown up in, but at this point, she'd never been there, so she didn't know the town at all, and yet she was describing it very accurately. And I was kind of obsessed by this point, and I wanted to make sure that it was not just a similar street, and drew this little map of the street and asked her to describe things, and she put tons of details into it, like she could say exactly where the traffic lights and the crosswalk were. So, I don't know, it must have been my dream in a way because only I knew the town, but somehow I must have transmitted it to her. It's just inexplicable. Well, I saw a TV show last year where they said that it's called dream telepathy, and they say that it's not that unusual in dreams. Well, it's never happened to me since, and to be honest, I can't say that I'd want it to, because it was actually, strangely, very disturbing.
Oh, dream telepathy. I knew what telepathy was, but I didn't know there was dream telepathy. Dream telepathy라는 게 있는지 몰랐는데요. Well, Paul is actually, saying this word because he wanted to explain the situation that they were in, where it was actually an inexplicable situation. 설명이 안 되는 상황이죠. Okay, so the girlfriend knew his hometown. She had never been to his hometown. 남자친구의 홈타운에 가본 적이 없는데도요, 너무너무 잘 아는 거예요. 그래서 he was kind of obsessed by this point. This point가 뭘까요? 그 홈타운에 간 적이 없는데도 자세하게 아는 거. 그래서 요 지점에 포커스를 맞추고 he wanted to go further. Okay? So he drew this map. 이 맵을 그려가지고요. 그래서 could you please tell me where the traffic light was? Could you please tell me where the crosswalk was? And something like that. 이렇게 물어본 거죠. But she put tons of details in it. Right? What does that mean? She could tell lots of details. Right? 많은 그 세부 사항들을 진짜로 맞출 수 있는 거예요. Isn't it really surprising? So, how could you explain this inexplicable situation? 이렇게 이해할 수 없고 설명할 수 없는 이런 상황을 여러분은 어떻게 설명을 하시겠습니까? Well, this is inexplicable. So, he's kind of, thinking about this TV show a long time ago, and he recalled this word, dream telepathy. dream telepathy라는 말을 생각을 해낸 것이 되겠죠. dream telepathy. 그래서요, well, actually, he thinks that he must have transmitted his dream to her. 그녀에게 그의 꿈을 이렇게 전가시킨 거예요. Transmitted his dream to her. And this is a phenomenon called dream telepathy. Right? 그렇지 않다면요, there's no way to explain this. 이것을 설명할 수 있는 방법이 없잖아요. Right? Well, so, for the question, do you want to have this kind of dream again? Well, since that time, he's never had that kind of dream. 이상한 dream telepathy 이런 거 꿔본 적 없는데요. 이런 꿈을 또 꾸고 싶습니까? 이런 부분에 대해서 he answers, no way. Why? Because he found it really disturbing. 굉장히 spooky하다. 소름 끼치면서 굉장히 좀 계속 생각나게 하고 disturbing, 좀 이렇게 귀찮게 그렇게 그 정신적인 작용을 하기 때문에 I don't want to dream this kind of strange dream anymore 라고 얘기를 하고 있습니다. Okay, so Paul의 dream 속으로 들어가 봤는데요. Now it's time for us to solve the questions. 한번 그 문제를 한번 풀어보도록 하겠습니다. 자, Paul의 strange dream에 대한 문제는요, 어디냐면 96페이지에 있어요. Open your book, page 96. And, number one, Paul describes himself as a sensible, rational man. Okay, what does a sensible mean? Sensible and sensitive? Sensitive는 굉장히 민감하죠. 민감한 사람인데 여기서 sensible은 지각이 있고, 그저 뭔가 이성적인, 그 다음에 여기서 rational, 이것도 이성적인이라는 뜻이죠. 그러니까 막무가내 emotional하고 근거 없는 얘기하는 사람이 아니라 down to earth라고 본문에 쓰였어요. Which is down to earth mean practical. So he's kind of a practical person. 앞부분에 이런 얘기가 나왔는데요. So 이 statement는 true가 되겠습니다. So Paul describes himself as a sensible and rational person. Yeah, that's right. He's down to earth, practical. And why don't we go to number two? The dream took place in his hometown. Yes, that's right. So his hometown when he was young. 어렸을 때 그의 고향 거기서 일어났을 때 일이죠. This is true. True. And number 3, in the dream, he and his girlfriend had arranged to meet in front of the station. Is it right? No. Actually, they bumped into each other in his dream. What does bumped into mean? Unexpectedly, 예상하지 못하고 만난 거잖아요. 자, 그래서 arranged to meet은 they made an appointment in his dream? No, they bumped into each other unexpectedly on the street. And what was the shop behind them? 그들이 앞에 서 있었던 그들 뒤에 있는 그 shop은 뭐였죠? Stationery store. station이 아니라 stationery store where they sell pens and papers and supplies of 그 오피스에서 쓰는 여러 가지 supplies 이런 거 그 파는 문구용품점이 되겠죠. So number 3 is false, right? So, and how about number 4? His girlfriend had a similar dream. Is it right? Similar and same is a little different. Similar은 비슷한 거지만 same은 exactly the same. 똑같은 꿈이죠. So, yes. So, she dreamt the same dream with her boyfriend, right? 남자친구가 똑같은 dream을 꿨습니다. 그러니까 number 4는요, false가 되겠고요. And number 5, his girlfriend had never visited his hometown. Yeah, this is a spooky part, really. This point is really, makes him spooky, gives him like a goosebump, right? And makes him cold and shivery. Why? Because she knew, in spite of the fact that she'd never been to his hometown, she knew every details of his hometown. Spooky, right? So number 5 is true. And number 6, he believes their dreams were the result of the TV program they'd been watching. Because of the TV program, you have to remember the cause and effect. 그죠? cause and effect를 기억을 해야 되는데요. cause and effect 여기서는 because of the program, they had this dream telepathy? No. What has this TV program to do with him and his dream? Well, he gives this interpretation to his dream and interpret this phenomena as dream telepathy. Okay? So this idea was from the TV program. So, well, he believes that, this case can be considered as a dream telepathy. And he got this idea from the TV program. TV 프로그램에서 이 dream telepathy라는 아이디어를 얻게 된 것이죠. 이 프로그램 때문에 꿈을 꾸게 된 것은 아니고요. 오케이, 좋습니다. 오케이, 여러분, 꿈속에서 영어를 막 자유자재로 유창하게 하고 막 이런 꿈 여러분 이렇게 어떤 레벨이 되면 꾸게 되는 경우도 있거든요. 저도 영어 한참 배울 때요. I dreamed this strange dream. I was talking fluently to strangers and they understood what I was talking in English and they paid attention to me and I felt really happy in my dream. 근데 저희 어머니께서 그러시더라고요. 너 이렇게 자면서 잠꼬대 가시마니. 네. 여러분도요, 이런 꿈을 꾸시도록 좀 열심히 매진을 하시면은 좋을 것 같습니다. 오케이? 자, 우리가 진짜 꿈이 아니라 실질적으로 플루언트하게 누구에게나 커뮤니케이션 할 수 있는 그날까지 영어 공부는 계속돼야 되겠죠? Okay, that's it for today. 오늘 여기서 마치도록 할게요. Thank you very much. Bye.